Hi, my name is Raquel and welcome to my podcast. So thank you to all new and returning viewers for checking me out today. It's the 17th of July. Is it the 17th of July? Yes, it's the 17th of July, 2016. This little guy is being annoying. He wants to... Okay, he's just jumped onto the floor. He was on the table before and touching all the stuff that I had up here to show you guys. And now he's sitting on my spinning wheel, which is on the floor behind me. So he's still very much into exploring and doing things he shouldn't do, but slowly we're getting there. Okay, so let's get started. He's just jumped onto the chair behind me, if you can see him over there. Okay, so let's start with finished objects. I have 3 to show you today. First off, my shawl. He's now on the coffee table. Let's see what. Okay, so the shawl. This was the knit along by Ravelry Negra, which ends today. So I finished this on Thursday. This is the on the Spice Market by Melanie Berg, and I used Ravelry Negra's Olivia yarn, which is 55 merino, 45 cotton. So yeah, shawl starts here. On the side, let's see. Yeah, starts here at this end. You work your way onto this section here, and then onto the end section. And I removed the stitch marker, so I'm not quite sure where I left off last week, but I think it was somewhere here with the green. I think, I'm not sure. And I did not have enough of the main color, which is this dirty white color, to finish everything. On Monday, this past week, Monday was a public holiday, or a municipal holiday, so I'm sorry, I'm going to get Soot. He's somewhere he should not be, eating something he should not eat. Just a second. Okay, I'm back. He managed to jump onto a cabinet I have over there for my CDs, where I had this mug with some biscuits in there, thinking he wouldn't jump up on there, but apparently he can jump up on there, and as you can see, he's nibbled the biscuit he shouldn't have nibbled on, but okay. Never mind. That's okay, I'll just give it to the dogs. Which they shouldn't eat it either, but it's just one time, it's not too bad. I'm going to put it to the side, hopefully he won't come up on the table and get it. Anyway, onto the shop. I was at Ravelry Negra on Monday, the 11th of July, because the municipality where I work at had a public holiday, so we didn't work that day. And while I was there, I asked Joanna if she still had some of this white, of this color, and she had like a little ball left over. So I wound off some of it, thinking I had enough, but I didn't. So what I did was, on the very last repeat of what should be the white, if you can hear that noise, that's Rusty drinking water. I took the green color and put it in between the 2 purple colors, which I think turned out okay. I still have to block this, which is going to be another great adventure with Soot, because I mean the dogs go on to the stuff I'm blocking, so I'm sure he's going to do the same thing, especially with all these ends still to weave in. He likes the ends, so he likes to grab them. I will be blocking on top of the dining room table where I'm at the moment, and usually during the day he doesn't have access to it because he stays in the hallway. and the dogs won't go onto the table with us on there. If it was on the floor, it'd be a different matter, but they won't go on there. So, okay, now that he's learned he can jump onto that cabinet, he's up on there, and I have a lot of breakables on there. And he's found a toy lizard that I have up on there. Sit! Sit! Okay, he's back down. I'm gonna have to watch him, obviously. Okay, here he comes. He's now on the table, meaning he's gonna go for the biscuits again. Okay, I'm just gonna remove the biscuits. Just a sec. Okay, I'm back. He's over here. Hopefully he's not going to play too much with the things that are attached to the box where my computer is on, because that will move the computer. Anyway, so finished object number 1 was the shawl, which I finished on Thursday. And then I decided to pick up one of the whips that I planned on finishing. And the reason I started the knit-along for until the end of August on my group. And that was the bunny, the Bonbon Bunny by Susan Claudino. See, I have the pattern here. No, that's the wrong one. No, I don't have the pattern here. Okay, so the Bonbon Bunny, and I finished it. It basically took me all of yesterday to finish. I picked up. So I had the 2 legs, the 2 arms, and I had the tail, and I had one of the ears. And I had started the second ear, but I left off somewhere halfway. And so on Thursday I picked it up, and I hadn't marked off on the pattern where I was at, so I just started knitting. And then Friday when I picked it up again, because Thursday I really didn't have that much knitting time before going to bed because I finished the shawl. So on Friday when I picked this up again, I was looking at the ear and it was completely weird. It just did not match the ear I'd already knit up. So I ripped it out, started again, and basically that's all I did because I had some other stuff to do on the Friday evening after I came back from the office. I think I'm going to have to put Sit in another room. He's misbehaving. Sit. And he's just throwing the needles on the floor. Okay, anyway. So I reknit the ear, thinking it was okay, and it's not. The second ear I knit is like smaller than the first one. I missed a couple of important repeats in the middle section here, but that's okay, you know, it doesn't matter. Wait, sorry. Sit. I'm sorry about this, guys, but Sit is really misbehaving today. He was sleeping just fine until I started moving around, setting up for the podcast, and I should say it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. I had planned on filming a bit earlier, but yeah, I was doing some other stuff. So anyway, back to the bunny. So this ear is shorter than the first one I knit, but that's okay. And yesterday what I did, I knit the whole body, added the eyes and the little nose, attached all the limbs obviously as you go along. I finished off the little bunny, and I added a little ribbon to it. So this is one of the first whips that I finished. And finishing off this little bunny just reminded me how much I really like making toys, because they're really super fast to make, especially these Susan Claudino ones. Because you make all the limbs, all the extremities first, and then you knit the body and you attach as you go, it makes it so much easier, because by the time you cast off here, you're done. All you have to do is weave in some ends. So yeah, finish this little bunny, and I'm keeping this one. She's gonna be mine. She's gonna go into my cabinet where I have all my other toys that I've made, whether they be knitting or sewn or whatever. But yeah, like I said, just reminded me of how quick it is to knit a toy. Well, some toys, not all toys, but these little Susan Claudino ones are fairly quick to knit, especially using thicker yarn. So I had another pattern I really wanted to make, which was the one I was showing you, and it was the wrong one, which is Bugle the Baby Elephant. Again, it's a Susan Claudino one, and this guy is so cute and so small. I had some leftover. I made the yarn that I used for this was Drops Big Delight, and this is, I think this is colorway number 2. And the other bunny I made of this, and I added pictures of the 2 bunnies I made last year at the end of my previous episode. So you can check that out, or you can check them out on Ravelry. So this was the remaining. Each ball is 100 grams, and I think it's 100 or 200 meters. It's got quite a bit of yarn in it. Anyway, one ball is enough for 2 toys, or for 2 of these bunnies anyway. And I still had leftover of the ball of this one. So I made a brown one as well, which again is Drops Delight, Big Delight, sorry, Drops Big Delight in colorway number 5, which I believe is called Banana, because it's in these brown colors and this yellow. And I made the little elephants, and I had 56 grams left over from making the other bunny, and I only used 21 grams to knit this little guy. Isn't he cute? And he won't stand up because only now, when, you know, after finishing him off and sewing in all the ends, did I notice that this leg I positioned it in the wrong place. I should have had it 2 stitches more to this side here, and it's in the wrong place, so he won't stand up. He'll fall over, but that's okay. I don't mind. It's a cute little thing, and I'm definitely going to make this again, but I'm going to use thicker yarn than this. And this is quite thick yarn, but I'm going to use this yarn instead. This is some local Portuguese yarn from Serra da Estrela, so from our local sheep. It's kind of rustic. It's not like the softest, but it's also, I knit a cardigan out of this for the winter, and I'm okay with it next to skin. It's not an issue for me. And I knit the cardigan with 7mm needles, so I'm going to go down to maybe 4 or 4.5, maybe even 5, to knit another version of this little guy. And I have plenty of this left over to knit, so yeah, we'll see. The little eyes you see here, they're not safety eyes. I can't find any decent looking safety eyes here in Portugal, so what I've done, these are just buttons, and I've now found a shop in downtown Porto where they sell these kind of buttons. They have like, so they're round and they're flat on the back, and then they have like an eyelet thing where you can sew through. So I stick them through the knitting and just sew it in on the inside. So yeah, 3 finished objects. This one was not planned. This was just because I finished the bunny, and I decided to quickly knit this up. I knit this morning. I finished it just before around lunchtime, so yeah. Okay, so because I finished the shawl and one of my whips, technically the shawl was a whip as well, but this was started this year, and I'm talking about whips that were our for the knit along, I'm doing their whips that were started last year. One was started in 2014. The other one, the other three were started in 15. Sorry. I should mention that if I'm kind of shiny, it's like super hot. We're having a heat wave this week. The weather it was hot last weekend, but this week we've had 30 plus temperatures of 30 plus Celsius, and the sun is now hitting here. I've got the blinds halfway down. That's why it's a bit darker today. Because otherwise I'd be having direct sunlight in here right now, and yeah, so if I'm a bit shiny, it's because it's really hot, and yeah, it's like I can feel I'm completely wet. But okay, so carrying on, the next old whip that I'm picking up, which is again one from last year, is the split top that I turned into a dress. So I'm going to be picking this up today. After finishing the podcast, while I'm editing the podcast, and I have some photos to edit as well. So I'm at the length. I need to put this onto a bit of waste yarn or onto a larger cable, because I think it's at the right length where I can start adding the stripes. I'm going to add 3 stripes like here at the top. I'm going to add them to the bottom, and then do the ribbing at the bottom and finish it off. So I'm hoping to do that this week, so I can have another finished object to show you guys next week. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I'm going to try. Then a new project that I'm going to be starting, because I can't just work on old whips. I have to. There's several projects that I want to knit as well. So the new one I started yesterday, but I think I'm gonna have to rip it out because I was looking at it before, and looked like I had some. I have to check again, but I think I made some mistakes, so I'm gonna have to maybe rip it out. Anyway, it's the Hoodie Shawl Cardigan by Suzanne Sommer. This one here. And the reason I'm starting this one is because I already have the yarn I'm going to be using all skeined up. Put it in my bag. So this is all Yarn Adventures yarn, 570, which is roughly 115 grams and 570 meters. So it's like a light fingering. So these are the 2 first colors I'm going to be using. I can show you what I've done, but like I said, I'm probably going to be ripping this out, because I think there's a couple of mistakes in there. This is what I did yesterday while I was at a friend's house, visiting, meeting her new puppy, which is really cute, really playful, despite the heat, very playful. And like I said, to her, we should get together with my dogs, and maybe not the kitten, but the dogs anyway, so that Dakota can play with the dog and tire her out. And the other colors I'm thinking of using are this gray one, and I don't know the color names anymore. I have them written down somewhere. This one, I don't have enough yardage of the colors as called for in the pattern, so I'm just going to mix and match. And then there's this one. And I have 2 other ones just in case I don't have enough, but there's so little of these I might not be using them. So yeah, this is all Yarn Adventures 570, and this is yarn I've had in my stash for quite some time. I actually bought some of these to make some toys, which I did several years ago. I made the Rebecca Danger monsters. Most of which I've sold, I've given away. Some have been sold, most of them have been given away. So that's the next new project I'm going to be starting. So I'm going to work on my whip, the dress, and then work on the sorry, work on the cardigan as well, so that I can increase my winter wardrobe. Although this past winter, because everyone at the office had the air conditioning on full blast, I walked around in t-shirts, and it looks like this year I'll be doing the same thing inside the office because we're in a smaller space now and it's quite warm. But we'll see in the winter. Maybe in the winter it'll be colder and I can actually wear my knitted items. I don't know. So, something else I've been knitting. Tour de Fleece is still going on because Tour de France is still going on. And I've actually not spun anything this week. Don't know if I'm going to have spin anymore today, or if I have time to spin anything today. But I think last week I showed you the singles that I applied, spun up, and then I spent some time applying them. And because the yarn isn't very consistent, I mean it's more consistent than the first yarn I spun. You know, it's like a fingering, more or less, most of the time. So I'm quite happy with it. This is the first bobbin. I now have to pass all this yarn onto. I don't have a nitty knotty, so I'm gonna get my Swift and wind it onto the Swift and then tie it off so I can wind the rest. And I also don't have a lazy cape, so I created my own by using an old shoebox, a couple of straight needles that I don't use anymore. I just have it like that. And I can easily add a third bobbin in here if I had more bobbins to spin with, but I don't. So I only have the 3 bobbins that came with the wheel. So this is the lazy cape I created, and it works fine. Obviously, Soot likes to get into it while I'm spinning, and he's not looking at me like I didn't do anything. So yeah, I think that's it for today. I have nothing more to show. I've seen some really nice projects on the cowl, on the thread for the cowl, so keep showing your progress. Join in whenever you want. It's like I mentioned last week and the week before when I first mentioned the cowl. There won't be any prizes this time. I am planning a couple of other cowls for starting September, and I'll see if I can get some prizes for those. For now, it's just a fun knit along to finish whips that you have lying around that you want to finish. It's not, you know, mandatory. You don't have to finish them. I finished my first one. I'm going to try finish the dress next, and then I still have the blanket to finish and the other toy, which is a dragon, which is in crochet. So what I'm planning on doing with that one is, if I finish the dress this week and have a decent start on the cardigan, then I'm going to pick up the dragon, which is a pattern by Heidi Bears on Ravelry. She has lots of lovely toys, and if I remember, I'll show you the toys I finished. I've already crocheted by Heidi Bears next week, because maybe I'll have that one in hand, so to speak, so I can show you. And then I have the blanket, but because we're going through the heat wave at the moment, the blanket is maybe not the best idea to knit on right now, because it's huge and it's warm, and some of it is going to have to be on my lap for me to finish the squares, obviously. So for now, it's there in the basket. If I decide to pick it up, then I'll do so, but for now I want to finish the dress, and then I have the other toy to finish, and I still have a pair of socks that I started earlier this year in April, I believe, or May, so I can work on those too as well. no, oh yeah, the other reason I knit this little guy this morning was because I wanted some instant gratification. Basically, I wanted something that I could start and finish instantly. Well, instantly, it took like 5-6 hours maybe, but still, you know, it's a lot quicker than knitting a pair of socks or a dress or a cardigan. So that was one of the reasons I really wanted to. I just needed something quick to finish. So now I can go back to my bigger projects and maybe do some spinning during the week as well, so I can get this yarn off the bobbin and finish off the other 2 bobbins, so I can spin up the other yarn that I had planned on spinning, but I don't think I'm going to get around to it because I don't even know when the Tour de France finishes, but probably by the end of the month, regardless. And I believe then after that in August there's the Olympic Games, the Summer Olympics in Brazil, so there'll probably be the Ravelry on Ravelry, and I've not even checked it out to see if the group is active, if there's already teams set up for items you want to complete or something, and I might join that, but we'll see. So I'm not gonna get Dakota out of the sun because she's already hyperventilating. I can see she's lying here, and if I don't remove her physically from lying in the sun, she'll just lay there the whole afternoon and she'll get sick. So I don't want that. Rusty is the clever one. He'll go into the shade when he gets too hot, cool down, and then he'll go back in the sun. Dakota does not do that. Soot has finally calmed down and has fallen asleep. So hopefully he'll fall asleep. He'll stay sleeping for quite some time. I read somewhere that cats are supposed to sleep 20 hours or so a day. I've not seen that with Soot. Maybe it's because he's a kitten, but he doesn't sleep 20 hours a day. But yeah, it's fun having him around. We're still adjusting to one another. It's been 3 weeks since he's been here. But it's fun. It's fun. Never thought I'd have a cat, and I do now, so it's fun. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. I still have to edit this podcast. It's already 5 o'clock, and I want to still get some knitting in. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.